So in this video, I want to acknowledge all of your comments. Safety, safety, safety. Am I safe? Is Allentown safe? Are you safe? Is that neighborhood safe? Can you tell me where it's safe to live? Good questions. Safety is one of the things realtors aren't allowed to talk about, as it can be considered steering. I'll read you a quote I found online. If a client requests a nice, good, or safe neighborhood, a real estate professional could unintentionally steer a client by excluding certain areas based on his or her own perceptions of what that means. Basically, we all present differently. We all have different biases, likes, and dislikes. First and foremost, I only do videos where and when I feel safe. Now, let's talk a little bit about location. Location. I'm a city kid. I was born, raised, and went to college in Philadelphia, PA. So I feel nice, good, and safe in the city. A couple springs ago, I think 2023 or 2022, I went to the Baltimore Harbor area. And before we headed out, like a good tourist, I watched a few YouTube videos on where to go, what to see, and what to eat. And I made a little list and we headed out. I texted a friend from Philly who now lives in the Baltimore, Maryland area, my little list. And they wrote back, "Tiffany, do not go to that mall." And I was like, what? Long story short, I did not go to that mall. But I'm from Philly, so I thought I could. Does that sound like you? This is a video channel. I've said 85 times before, and I'll say it again. When I'm having a good time, I take out my phone, and if my battery allows it, I will video. And then I'll just come back and talk about what I experienced later on in that video. Like I do like an overlay. When I have to travel at night and there are no street lights, like if I gotta go into the sticks, I am all sorts of nervous and cautious. Why is it that your children always need a ride from Timbuktu in the dark? And I hate being on a road that I haven't traveled often. Another great example for me to share with you, if we have time for some stories, is my daughter was invited to go with a friend to a camping ground. It was about an hour and a half away. My answer was no thank you, because as a mom, that was outside of my safety constraints. In my head, all sorts of things outside of my control and hers could go wrong, and I would be powerless. But she really wanted to go, so she persisted, and she convinced her dad to let her go. I lost that fight, and now she's been several times. That was my own bias, and perhaps for good reason. That's just not my jam. I'm a city kid, but she's a Brightingsville kid, so you understand where we're different, right? I am just now, at this big age, warming up to the idea of camping, because that too was a firm no thank you. My friends have bear spray and little minor headlights that they wear for their Pocono homes. That just did not make sense to me. Bear spray? I need bear spray to go outside? That does not sound like a good time. I mean, we've all seen the videos. We've seen the crazy movies. That just did not fit my persona or my idea of a good time. But, as I'm growing up, I'm realizing that everything doesn't have to involve the city, I'm learning. Now I want to tell you a different story about a client experience. I was working with a client, actually it was a family, and I showed them a house outside of Allentown on a Saturday with just the husband and the kids. The mom had to work. This family loved the house. They were kind of running through it. It was a complete rehab, so everything in it was new. It was in their price point, lots of space, lots of parking, everything. The dad filmed the video to share with the mom. For whatever reason, on that Sunday, I couldn't go back, but they did. I actually suggested that they go back, look around the property, so that the mom could go back and, get a feel for it herself. look around the property, look around the area, all the things that feel customary to you to make sure that it fit for her as well. The following week, the mom reached out to me and shared that they were pulled over, and that turned her off. Did that mean that it wasn't safe? For her, she went on to share some other experiences from her formative years where she lived in an area that she did not feel safe. And by visiting that home and being pulled over by the police on the first visit, it brought up all those memories. I said all that to say we are all different. I see your comments from many different environments, many different regions, many different areas. Where should they move to? If they were coming to the Lehigh Valley, is it safe? Am I safe? Don't go downtown Allentown. There's drunkards there, or homeless, or drug dealers, or druggies. Lots of different things. I see it all. And I do filter the comments, but then, once I read them, if they're not derogatory, I release them so that people can see them and hear your experiences. I'm not trying to police you. I just don't want my comments to be messy, if you understand what I mean, We are all different. I see your comments, people from many different environments asking where should they move to if they were to come to the Lehigh Valley. And that's a very difficult question for me to answer since I don't know you. We all have different experiences, so I can't answer that question for everyone. I just can't. And furthermore, in real estate, this can be labeled as steering, and I don't want to lose my license. I have biases, we all do. Sometimes I love a drive in PA. It can be so beautiful, breathtaking even. Many times I'll pull over and take out my phone, and something I always do is type in Target because I have a Target problem. You should know this by now. But you know what else I like? Dollar Tree. I like having a variety of grocery stores. Wegmans, Giant, Aldi, Grocery Outlet, Weiss. I like being close to the Turnpike. I'm in the Parkland School District. I also like that. It's favorably graded school district. It's been good to me and my children. I like to see the trick-or-treaters on Halloween. I like walking through my community and meeting the different dogs, or having to move bicycles from the sidewalk, or reading the chalk on the sidewalk that the children have written. I like those things, but you may not. Your biases might be different, or maybe you don't like the street lights. Maybe you don't want to hear those children in the yard because it's too loud. I don't know. We're all different. Maybe you prefer an older home community. Maybe you prefer a 55 plus community. Maybe you want to be near New Jersey and New York, so you want to be further east. These are some of the questions that make us unique. But at the very foundation of our wish, bugs, I don't know what's going on. Oh, I'm sweating. Oh gosh, oh goodness. These are all questions that make us each unique. But at the very foundation of our home wish list or our community wish list, we certainly want to feel safe. Then plus everything else. Am I right? I have several lengthy videos on different communities here in the Lehigh Valley. I add important information on price points, the school district, or any other information that I can filter to help you in your search. Here are a few other last third-party sources with neighborhood-specific information where you can go and find that information on your own. So, some other places you might inquire. Facebook. Love it or hate it, people are on there, even the schools and the communities themselves. Look up Lehigh County. Look up Hidden Meadows. Those are just some examples. Look up Lower Macungie. If you're thinking, look up East Penn Schools. All of that, you can look on Facebook and see if you can get different information about those school districts or those communities, because I will talk about them, but I may not be saying the information that you want to hear specifically. Or honestly, I might not know because I don't live in all of those different districts or those different areas. So I just don't have the expertise that you might get from people who are out there speaking freely. Somewhere else you might want to try, Google. Have you ever been to Reddit? The U.S. Census. And don't forget YouTube. Look for the county, the school districts, the communities. There's also a drone channel here that does some great videos of the Lehigh Valley, so you can get some looks at different areas. And then there's also a real estate photography channel, and I will leave links to both in the comment description, which is below. Okay, and because it's the name of the channel, I will cue up my very own get to know Allentown video. If you prefer Coopersburg, I have that. And what about Schnecksville, the Lehigh Valley South? Have that too. Is the Emmaus more your jam? Got it. Whitehall? Got it. Brightingsville? I have that too. I have videos for all of them right here, right now. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Tiffany Nelson. I'm a realtor here in the greater Allentown area. If you or someone you know needs a realtor, I would love to hear from you. My contact information is always below. Okay, hold on. These are all the questions that make us unique. Are they questions? Okay. These are all very different attributes that make us unique. But at the very foundation of our wish list, we certainly want to feel safe. Plus all of those other questions, qualities.